What's that on that beat?
Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my bands, flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now. That's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we kick off the new year with an NFC North matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Rivers. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On the ground, it's Riddick. Shrugs him off. And he's got some space here. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. It's a big play there for the Lions. 51 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones from 8 yards out. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Prescott now on second down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. A nice little juke. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Prescott on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
For that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Here's Riddick. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Diggs with a good footwork. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On play action, Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left.
And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Oh, look at the juke. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start the drive with Cook. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on 3rd down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there's good defense on the play.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd down, Prescott. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Break the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This is taken at the 15. Diggs with a good footwork. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be third down. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. So we've reached halftime here on All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 48 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Ziggy Ansah able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Nifty move. And now running right through it. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Riddick with a carry. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with third and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Out to the flat for Redden. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 38 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And now it's blocked. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
They go back to Riddick, and he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Rivers to throw it. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's coming now.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A second down throw for Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take it. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Prescott off play action. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing, Rivers, and he goes out right around the 39. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Again, this is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And his throw is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Vikings on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
380!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Handoff comes to Cook. And a solid run down inside the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Time for a break. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Prescott to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run, Cook, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Again, it's Cook. Twisting away, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Really good performance on the road, week 1. You're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Rivers. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Play fake, Rivers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Jiggy, check out my. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese dinner.